we know we got another Fast coming, you know, part 2 of Fast
yes.
X. Have you been in convos with Vin about, you know, what we can expect or what this next film is going to be?
Vin's so invested in the franchise and so creative that things are always bubbling up, and then we'll be on text chains, and it's wonderful to see like the beginning versus what ends up there.
yeah.
And I'm being as vague as possible so as to not give anything away.
Of course not,
You haven't noticed,
But I love that's still going. I mean,
Yeah,
people
me too.
obviously still, fans are excited as well. In fact, the next film brings Dwayne Johnson back. And I know he and Vin had that little viral moment at the Golden Globes. Do we think fans went wild kind of over the excitement of these two powerhouses back together again?
Yeah, I think what's so fun about when we keep talking about family, Fast is about family. Families are also dysfunctional, and we've got drama, and we've got. So I think the franchise echoes that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes it so entertaining, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's multi-layered, as they say. Well, I just want to acknowledge, you know, this is one of our first real press opportunities since the fires. And I realized a lot of us were kind of like sitting in idle, waiting to see what was going to happen. So I just want to check in, see how you guys are doing, or maybe get a reaction from you about seeing the community come together the way that it has since this devastation.
Or you look to me for that?
No, sorry. I always look to you for everything. Save us! It was for me. It was a very frightening week. You know, we were evacuated and we got to go home, and it's so sad to see neighboring communities dealing with some of the stuff we're dealing with here. But I'm optimistic that Los Angeles will, you know, pull it together and get through this and prop each other up, and you know, it's LA is one of the greatest places in the world to live.
LA has shown up for their people the last couple of weeks. I saw it firsthand, and it was really moving,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sad it took a fire for that to happen, but I'm glad we're getting
we'll
back
get
on our
through
feet.
this.
Exactly.
We're getting through it.
Right? And it's good to see us back and running too, because I think that's part of that recovery, right? Is getting to
For
right?
sure. I think for an industry that's been, I mean, for the
Oh,
last,
gosh.
we had COVID, and then we had strike,
Strikes.
and it feels like we,
Can't catch a
to
break.
have everyone work is good, and to have everyone work in LA is really good.
Agreed.
And so I think that's something we should also focus
right.
on to revitalize our.
And I feel like this movie is coming at a good time, because even though it is scary, I was just telling you guys, it is funny too.
A masked maniac known as the Hard Eyes Killer has stalked
hunted,
and brutally slain couples on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
With no motive yet uncovered.
this is more than just murder. He's like Cupid with a kink.
Like, this is the kind of movie you want to go out and see in a theater with people or on a date. I'm telling you, I was watching this by myself thinking this would be real fun with somebody right now. You know? Like, don't you feel like horror movies kind of bring that out? And like, not romance, but it's like a good
sexy.
date.
It's a cute thing to bond over. We were saying trauma bonding.
Is that what it is? It is that, isn't it? It's trauma bonding. I mean, you're no stranger to the genre, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you've been in Final Destination, Chucky, Idle Hands, which I think was your first go at horror,
Yes,
right?
it was.
So what are you supposed to be anyway?
I'm a fast food employee that cut off his own hand.
Cute.
How would you say this movie kind of takes its own spin on the genre?
This movie is original and takes its own spin because we kind of get the audience to put their guard down with the romance and then the comedy a little bit, and then we just nail them. Like, we just hit them with this insane killer who kills people in the most brutal ways. It's definitely an original concept, and this particular killer is going to be one of the great ones. Like, mark my word right now that this is going to be a next Freddy or a Jason or a Leatherface
Ghostface,
or any of this Chucky. So yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it.
Hard Eyes has a specific tone to it. Was that apparent when you guys read the script, or is that something you kind of pieced together along with your director and the rest of this cast?
It was apparent when I read the script, and then also when I watched Josh's movies, and
Bingo.
he has a lot of like comedy videos, and it's him just playing different characters, and he's so, it's like
Animated.
a very dry, smart sense of humor that he has. So I knew that
It's a style. It's definitely
Totally.
so. I had the same thing. I read the script and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Josh's movies now. And you watch, and you're like, this is a style. This is a thing, and it fits.
And the writers are so clear too.
And the DP, and yeah, it's just all.
Did they let you take some liberties, in particular, Gigi? Because you are kind of a comedic relief in this, you know? Like, we go to you and there's some funny stuff happening.
I read the original script and I remember being like, because the script had changed from what my audition sides were.
Interesting, yeah.
But I read the first script and it was very out there with Monica. Like there was some crazy, like her boyfriend was 90 years old in a wheelchair in the original script.
Get out of here.
And so it was very big, and then the rewrite was so much smaller, but I clocked what clearly someone originally wanted, and so we did just go balls to the wall with her, and they did let me play and have fun, and it made it so much more fun to bring to Olivia and to Allie. I think she needed the big, crazy Monica to make it make sense.
Oh, and it also kind of teed us up for maybe a possible sequel at the end.
Sounds good to me.
That's what I'm saying. I feel
bring in
like
a hot Arthur.
Okay, I feel like a franchise is building, is what I'm saying. Is that a goal here when you make a horror movie,
right?
right?
We love a franchise.
Right, y'all definitely love a franchise, that's for sure. I love it. In fact, Idle Hands is getting a reboot, right?
Yeah.
Is it true that you were humbled by your 10-year-old who was excited that Finn from Stranger Things was taking this on?
My social media is based on a true story. It's loosely based on my son knew exactly. He didn't know much about Idle Hands, but he knew exactly about the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
and he was very excited, and I did have to explain to him that Idle Hands was a film that I had done, and now he's going to give his own take on it. I'm excited for them. I think it's an interesting film to reboot, and they're definitely talented. So let's see.
Feels like they gave it enough time too. Now it feels like we could do another Idle Hands. Why not,
Why
right?
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I love it. You know, horror films, of course, there's a lot of running, a lot of screaming. And as a nerdy film guy, I would love to know how you kind of get into that zone of being scared. Is it a song? Do you guys amp each other up? Are you doing like scaring behind the door in the dressing room? Like, how do you guys kind of like tee yourself up for a moment like that?
For me, when you're doing the physicality, you actually do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like cheating, so you don't have to act it. And then it's really about breathing, because I think when, like, you just get very, like, you have shallow breath when you're scared. And so then that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, there's a fear a lot when I go to. There's a nervousness when I go to set a lot. And I usually have to try to calm that down and get rid of it. And when I'm doing these scenes, I just use that and kind of amp it up, and I'll do a few jumping jacks off camera. But I've been doing it so long, and I love doing it so much that it's kind of something that I think that I'm getting good at.
So you're used to the fake blood just being showered all over you, huh?
The more the
Every
better.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Give me a bucket of blood.
It's all facial all weekend.
I've gone through the evolution of blood back in the 90s when it was toxic and like.
And then it was syrup, right, for a while.
Is it still syrup?
Now it's organic and like
Yeah.
I love it. Well, let's find out.
maybe it's almond milk.